Hey man, it's the Freeform Rock podcast on YouTube. What's up, people? What's up, Lee? That way.
I'm that way or that way.
Well,
Um,
I notice when I point the other way, when the video comes on, it's pointing away from me, so it's backwards. But when it comes out, it's
yeah,
forward. So I got to point
yeah.
that way to point at you.
That's I. I don't even care. It's like if someone says, "Where's the vodka?" That way or that way. I'll go. Fuck it. I'll break your cabinet open and take the big bottle. And they go, "Oh, no. Let me guide you to the cheap shit." So as long as you guide me to the cheap shit. Yeah. Is that pina colada? You go down in the rain and Copacabana. We won't do that song on our podcast. Da, 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 da. You know,
I'm drinking
pina
pure.
colada and Coke and
I'm drink,
beer.
I'm
Wow.
drinking pure 100% whiskey, no mixer.
Do you have anything to chase it down with?
No, I drink water later.
Like an hour later?
Oh yeah.
You're
I'm not a chaser. I don't need a chase, man. My stomach is iron.
you're you're more Russian than I am.
Hey, look, you like the
I'm
shirt?
more hell, man. I need a shirt like that, but instead it says the Lee Gerstmann show. But but then people will want it, and I'll go. I'm sorry, this is the Lee Gerstmann show, and you don't get any shirt from it.
Well, Jerry
But
Soup of my new I knew our my new YouTube only thing, Mark and
uh,
Jerry BS sessions, sent me this for Christmas, and he gave me his podcast Three Shots Down, which he has no
that's cool.
co-host, which I offered to help him with. So I might be on that podcast if he ever gets that shit done. But I don't know if he's ever going to
Does he
get it
have
done.
any episodes, or is it like
No, he has no
it's the
episodes, but he
podcast?
he has a web. He has a Facebook
It's a
page.
podcast that he has not done yet, but he promotes anyway.
He promotes it. Yeah. He also gave me a
that,
hat.
that sounds like when I used to do stuff where I say, "Do you want this album of mine?" And I didn't even make the album. I just asked them if they wanted it, and when they said they wanted it, I thought that's nice. I'm glad people want it. I didn't make it yet. you know.
Yeah, it's just weird. I just got the new well, I ordered it today. I didn't know it came out today. The new Dead Daisies album with Glenn
Wow,
Hughes, who replaced John Corabi, and I love the shit they
man.
did with John.
I wish that we could have had John Corabi on our podcast. There was a lady who was representing different artists, and I don't know if part of why we've had different people as artists is because she, told them about us. But if she told John Corabi about us, that would be really good.
Oh, I love to talk to John, man. He made the
Yeah, man.
best crew album in my mind. 94
Oh,
Motley Crue is just amazing. We haven't even reviewed
I
that
have
shit yet.
no, I have no, I have no disagreement with you there. I actually bought several copies of it because I kept losing my copies, and that's one of the few albums that I kept buying on CD. I didn't necessarily go on a share site or some sort of streaming service. I actually bought it and listened to it on CD. That's how I thought of the album. I thought it was really good. It's to me, it's one of the coolest albums of that year.
But you know what sucks? When that album came out in 94, I was like so pissed that they kicked Vince out. I didn't even listen to it. And then years later, I started listening to it because of YouTube. And I go, fuck, what was I thinking? This album rules. And I fucking ordered it on Amazon. And I got the Chordatory, which had the 4 extra songs or 5 extra songs. Fucking really great album. It's like Uncle Jack, fucking.
Yeah.
My God, that album, it has more substance than any Mötley Crüe album ever. It's the lyrics are like not about women and booze. It's about like actual subjects of life.
Yeah. And the thing is, then, well, when they did Dr. Feelgood, Vince actually said that he thought that was a good album because they were all sober and totally on point when they recorded. I don't necessarily agree, but what he said was Generation of Swine, which I think was done after the 94 album when Vince came in to record because John Corabi was not in the band at that point, even though he might have done some vocals on some songs, but then they finally would like, for whatever reason, he was out of there. So they
record company
Vince
pressure to get him out.
Yeah, something like that. So anyway, Vince came in and he said something like, well, I mean, I did it, but that was a crap album. He said, it's probably one of our worst albums because it wasn't made for me as a vocalist. It was something I had to do and I did. But he said that album was a crap album. That's what he said.
That is one of the worst albums. Even the band with Last Band on the Moon is better than that album. First Band on the Moon. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have any of
New Tattoo is better than that one.
I don't have any of the Last Band on the Moon's albums, and I don't have any albums by New Tattoo, but I should look them up.
New Tattoo is the album with Vince, and it has.
I'm kidding with you, but
what's
no,
Ozzy's drummer who died? He was on that album.
Was it Randy Castillo?
Randy Castillo was on that album, yeah.
Yeah.
Tommy Lee left.
I think that I heard both New Tattoo and Saints of Los Angeles because I was trying to, back in the day, I was a completist as far as certain groups are concerned. I had bought all of Rat's albums up to a point, and I bought all of Mötley Crüe's albums up to a point. And the point stopped with, I think, after Girls, and they did Dr. Feelgood. I don't know why, but I think that at that point, maybe money was like, okay, I have to think about whether or not I want to spend my next dollar on eating or getting a new album. You know, it's not like with your parents where they give you an allowance and you can get whatever you want to get. It's more like, okay, I'm now needing to think about what I want to spend my money on. So I still bought music, but that's when I stopped specifically buying Mötley Crüe albums. And then, and then later I bought the 94 album because I saw it at a thrift store. It was sealed and it wasn't extremely cheap. It was like $5. So I still bought it for less. I mean, I bought it for less than it was at the store, but it wasn't like a 50-cent deal. I still bought a copy of it, and it was a sealed copy. So I still bought it, and then I didn't buy Doctor Feelgood, but I heard it. A friend of mine asked me to review it, so I reviewed it, and it was cool that I reviewed it. It's cool that I heard it because I wanted to hear all of their albums. But from Too Fast to Love up to and including Girls, 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 that was the period that I bought.
Yeah, I bought up to Dr. Feelgood, and then I didn't buy the 94 album till years later. And I did buy New Tattoo, and I didn't buy Saints of Los Angeles, but I got it downloaded. And I
Okay.
did like Saints of Los Angeles because it had a story to it about them breaking out in Hollywood. And
Hmm.
but people don't like 6 a.m. and they compared it to a 6 a.m. I do like Nikki Sixx's 6 a.m. albums because he has other people writing with him.
Um, I I had a copy of the Heroin Diaries
Really good
by
album.
Nikki Sixx, the actual book, and if I found another copy, I'd probably buy it again because regardless of what people say about it, it's like, were they actually there? If they said, how could Nikki be on heroin and write this stuff? Well, if they were actually there throughout the whole time that he was using heroin and observing whether or not he was writing stuff, then they could probably comment. But as far as I'm concerned, Nicky's an intelligent guy. He very well could have written what he did during that time. I saw what he was writing, and it didn't sound pretty. It sounded like someone who was in pain and was writing about their pain. And then he had other people give their opinions, and they had different parts in the book where, let's say, some sort of security guard who thought he was a fucking asshole, but he was willing to go on record saying, I thought Nicky was a fucking asshole and he deserved to have the shit beat out of him. And but as long as he was willing to go on record in the book saying that, Nicky would thank him because he was honest and willing to say what he said in the book. And they had a lot of people like that. Some of them were cool with Nicky, some weren't. There was Vanity, who later she became the Reverend something. I forget the name that she
Vanity's
used.
hot.
But
I have Vanity
yeah,
6 on
yeah,
vinyl.
yeah. She became a Reverend, but she talked about him, you know. So I think that's cool. And then later in books like in Kiss Nothing to Lose, they used the same format that Nikki started with by having different people talk about stuff. I don't know if Ken Sharp might have started it in his book about Kiss, the albums, where everyone talks about stuff, but Nikki's book was one of the first books that had it where it was a narrative that he put, but he also had other people giving their points of view to it. And Neil, Vince Neil, he did a similar thing then in his book. Tommy, I saw some of Tommyland, his book. I forget whether he did that or not, but Tommyland was kind of an interesting and trippy book from what I saw. I don't know if McMars has done a book. I have no idea. He probably could, but yeah, I mean, these are people who I think Nikki was innovative by having people talk about him as well as him talking about himself. At that time, I didn't know of any other book that really had that.
Well, you know what? People call Nikki Sixx a dick. They call Tommy Lee a dick. They call Vince Neil a dick. But everybody loves Mick Mars. And Mick Mars has been like teasing a solo album for like what 4 years now. What the fuck, Mick? We're waiting. We want to hear what you sound like. We heard Nikki with 6 a.m. We've heard
Yeah.
Vince. We've heard Tommy Lee with his god awful fucking whatever he's doing. Trance.
Yeah.
Fucking sorry, Tommy. I love you, man. You're a great drummer, but I can't get into your music, man. It's just my opinion. You know, you do whatever you want to do because you're happy with it, then be happy with it. But
I
fucking
mean,
Nikki, I would
we don't
love
have
to
to be
meet
happy
Nikki
with it.
because I think Nikki is the storyteller of the band.
Yeah.
Nikki, I would love to have a beer. Well, I don't know if he drinks anymore. I like to like just sit back and have a soda with him or something, or fucking kick back and talk to him.
I like that too. I'll tell you something. Stone Temple Pilots, back when Scott Weiland was in the group, I made a post on Twitter. This is when Scott Weiland was alive. I said, I like his vibe, and I would love to sit in a bar and have a beer with Scott Weiland and talk to him about music. And one of my friends, he added Scott Weiland's Twitter and my Twitter when he replied and he said, Scott isn't drinking alcohol anymore. And I said, regardless, it could be non-alcohol, it could be just water or whatever, but I would just still like to talk with him. And Scott Weiland himself liked that post.
I would have loved to hang out with Scott Weiland. I don't care, man. I don't care. I people get mad at me because I'm a conservative, and I would say, you know, even though I didn't like most of Barack Obama's policies, I would hang out with that dude and have a beer and talk to him and get to know the man because he seems very interesting. Same thing with Hillary Clinton. I don't like her, but I'm just like, I don't like her by what the media says about her or what she says about herself. Maybe she's different. Maybe there's more layers that I don't know about. And people seem to judge people by what they see and they don't know the people. So I would like to get to know the person so I could say, hey, they might be cool in person to sit there and have a beer, smoke a joint.
That's true.
You know, I don't know. But I'm giving our new president a chance, Biden. I hope he does a good job. I'm not talking politics. I'm just giving.
I'm going to almost.
Great vibes.
I'm only going to almost, but not quite, but almost, talk politics by saying I didn't mind Trump. I minded when people said stuff and I didn't know what was up because, if someone walks in a room and everyone points the finger and says something, does someone look at the person or do they look at the people pointing? So that was my issue. But I will say I'm totally okay with what happened. I mean, the thing is, the main point that Harry Truman said back then was, you don't salute the person, you salute the office, which means you might hate the person as president. I'm not saying you hate anybody. I'm just saying this is what Harry Truman.
No, I don't
said.
hate anybody. I don't hate
Yeah,
Hillary.
but
I
I
don't
mean,
hate
but Harry
Barack
Truman
Obama.
said,
I don't hate anybody.
regardless of whether anyone hates a person, he said, you respect the office, which means that whoever the president is, a real American respects the fact that we have a president. That's the main point.
Look, I'm going to put this out there right now. It has nothing to do with political. Obama, if you want to have a beer with me, fucking contact me on this page. You probably won't see it anyways because you like Fleetwood Mac, man. He likes some good music. But
he was in a episode of Check Please Chicago, and he was reviewing food. I'd like to talk to him. I didn't have any issues with him. I think he's a cool guy. I would. He was in Between Two Ferns with Zach Galifianakis.
I saw that. That was cool, man. I saw that. That was really cool.
And he also had Hillary Clinton on it. He had an episode with Hillary.
Hey, I would like to party with Bill Clinton now. That dude can party, except he was sleeping during the inauguration.
You know what?
Tricky Bill was like passed out when Biden was getting inaugurated. That was hilarious.
That's funny. Zach did an episode with Natalie Portman. Did you see that one?
No, I didn't see that one. I think Natalie Portman's gotten better looking as she's gotten older, though.
He was saying some shit that freaked her out. But
Zach is hilarious, though, man.
I don't know if I should say what he said, but if you want to look it up, Between Two Ferns, Natalie Portman, you'll see what he said. I'm kind of like.
Send it to me after this video.
Huh?
Send it to me after this video.
Okay. Yeah. But let's just say.
But we're not getting political here. I'm just saying, man, I'll have a beer with anybody on either side, except maybe Vladimir Putin or Fidel Castro if he was alive. I wouldn't want to have a beer with those fuckers. But I would have a beer with our American presidents. I don't care what side you're on. If you're cool to me, I'm cool to you.
Right on.
That's it, man. I don't hate anybody.
I would not want to have a beer with some guy who decided to put a drug that was going to knock me out so that he could take off all my clothes and have his way with me. But
you would have a beer.
That's a personal issue.
You would have a beer with a woman with a tucked-in shirt who drugged you.
Yeah. Well, what I'm trying to say is, if they told me ahead of time, then I can decide. But they need to tell me ahead of time. Excuse me, sir. I want to invite you to my house. I'm going to drug you, and then when you're asleep, I'm going to take off your clothes. I'm going to say, well, at least you're honest, but are you a woman? And they go, behind this beard and mustache, I'm all woman, baby. If I'm totally drunk, I don't know what I'd say.
And I would have a beer with anyone except Satan. You know, I would love to hang out with.
Except who?
You know who I like.
No. Except who?
Satan. I would like.
Oh yeah.
I would like to go to a bar, have Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, George Bush, Barack Obama, Donald Trump, Jimmy Carter, and sit there and bullshit with those guys, man, and see what they're about. Get to know the real people, just not what we see on TV.
That's true.
I would like to
I
sit there
would
and
like.
kick back.
I would like. I would like to talk with Jimmy Page and John Paul Jones and Robert Plant and Jason Bonham and talk to them about
And add
Lorna
Geddy Lee
Doone
and Alex
shortbread
Lifeson to that.
cookies.
I would like to
Listen.
have fucking Alex Lifeson and Geddy Lee and just talk about baseball with those people. Well, I know Geddy Lee loves baseball. I don't know about Alex. Geddy Lee has a huge baseball collection. I would love to talk to him about baseball, not even Rush.
Yeah.
You know, I have his big book of base. That, Geddy made a great solo album, my favorite, Headache. And
Yeah.
he needs to make another one.
You're not the only one who doesn't like Victor. There's other people who don't like that album.
I think I need to listen to it again because I only listened to it once and I go, it's shit. But I need to.
I like about 3 or 4 songs. There's some songs I don't like, but there are some songs I love. And they are the first songs like One More Day, da 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 da, one more. Take the time to do da da da. Take the time to do. It's good stuff.
I spilled some.
and there's some songs later that sound like industrial crap that I don't like.
Industrial. I like 9 Inch Nails.
But what I'm trying to say is, but that album, some of the industrial stuff sounded like.
Was it Kiss? Was it Kiss trying to sound industrial? They never tried to do an industrial album.
Oh, thank God.
Oh my God. They were like,
pull that hoe, tote that bill.
Paul
get a little drunk and you land in jail.
I can see Paul Stanley go,
River.
We got a cover of 9 Inch Nails. Head like a hoe, man. It's black as yourself.
I would like to hear him do Old Man River. He don't say nothing. He just keeps rolling. He just keeps rolling along.
How about the best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup? Oh, wait, he did that.
How about, yeah.
How about his new band, Soul Station?
My heart in San Francisco, among the blue and windy sea. When I come home to you, San Francisco, your golden sun will shine for me. Or there's a marvelous night for a moon dance with the stars going out of your skies. Da 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 da. That was one song my dad went, my God, you actually did that in tune.
All right, man. I just want to tell you guys, we don't sit here and say what subject we're going to do, what we're going to talk about. It just flows.
Yeah, and my mouth flows no matter what.
Of course it does, Lee. But man, I need to get that album back to Mötley Crüe. I need to get that album by John Corabi, 94 live, which he had his son on drums. I want to hear.
Oh my God, that sounds cool.
He did it solo, and I want to hear it. And I remember
He
him
did that whole album solo?
Yeah, he did a live recording of
Fuck, I want to hear it.
And he also said that what was he thinking when he did all those high notes in '94? Because he's like, oh shit. It's like, but I want to hear that. Everybody
That
tells me
sounds like how I felt with our first 50 reviews. Why the fuck did I do them? Holy shit. I'm kidding. It's all.
All right, man. We're gonna stop this conversation now. Man, but rock on, freeform rock. Have your own opinions. Don't let anybody get you down. And you know what to do, lady.
If I kick you down, you say thank you, and you go to a doctor.
All right, man. You know what? It's time for you to say goodbye, Lee.
Goodbye.
All right. Well, send me the notes for the podcast on this whenever
I will.
In an hour or whatever.
I'm going to recharge my phone because it's almost on dead battery, but we finished right before it. So give me about 5 or 10 minutes, and then I'll write the reviews.
Okay. All right. Bye, Lee.
Take care. All right. Bye.